So I'm gonna roll today, boy. Okay, so I was asked about you know those ghost lines? Let me get this camera to move. You know those ghost lines around your print images? You know the one that weird line image that's sitting around your prints? Like, you know, the what a word I'm looking for. That weird DTF glue that sits around right around the edge of your image, right? After you cure the excess glue that sits around the powder, DTF powder, yeah, the excess powder, sorry. The excess powder that sits right around the edge of your image. Someone was asking me, how do you get rid of that? And I told him it was a process, okay? If you notice, none of my images, none of my prints have that weird haze right around the image, right around the edge of the image, okay? So I'm gonna tell you how to get rid of that weird ghost imagey thing on your edge of your prints, because it's a whole production. Like I was telling them, it's an entire production. Meaning a production for me to tell you how to get it done. Not it means it's a production for you to get it done. Because there's about 3 or 4 different ways to do it. How should I get started on this? That's the hard part. So, way number 1. Yeah, let me tell you the easiest way. The easiest way is, if you have the time and you're not rushing, the easiest way is to let your print sit and let the print sit for a little while, so the excess moisture, because it really is just moisture, excess moisture on your DTF sheet dries up. That does take a while. And it doesn't it's not a full guarantee either that it will go away. So you're gonna have to play around and figure out how much time it's gonna require you to let it sit and dry to get rid of the excess moisture around the edge of your image. And then it's literally just kind of the edge of your image. And you don't want to sit too long either, because if it sits too long, then you risk let your prints dry out too much, and then you end up with cracks in your prints. It's an entirely different image. That's an entirely different ball game, whole different problem, and you'd rather not deal with that one, because that's even worse. Second option is to, if you're using a heat press, okay, is to put it under the heat press for a couple of seconds, and you really going to have to sit down and time this. That's something I can't tell you, because every single ink is different. If you use the ink I use, I might be able to give you an answer, but if you use a different total manufacturer ink, brand, whatever setup, even the heat presses are different. So that's even a whole different animal onto itself. So I can't really give you a number either, right? Because everything, the heat press cure different, the inks are different, the sheets, even the DTF sheets, okay, make a difference in the entire process, okay. So I can't really actually give you a number. I can sit down and help you. I'll sit down and help you. We can come up with a number, all right? But that's still gonna take your time to sit down and figure out how long you should sit underneath your heat press to get that excess moisture to dry up, all right? And then when you apply your powder, it won't adhere to the edges of your prints, and it takes time to figure that out. Third option, require you to get something like this. I don't have space for it. As you can see, I don't have space for it. So I can't use this. And I bought this on a whim. Because I was just curious. And I was just... as you can see, I can't use it. I've tried it and it works perfectly. Okay, this works so awesomely perfect. It's called a Craftsman family size glass top. It has to be flat. As you can see, it's totally flat. It's a total flat surface. It's a glass top warming. It's a warming tray. Okay, that's what it's called. The Craftsman family size glass top warming tray, and it's a warming tray because that's what you technically what you're doing is warming the prints to get the moisture dried up, and this literally takes about a minute or two, and I'm dead serious. It takes about a minute or two to dry that moisture totally up. It dries up completely just using this thing. All right. Let me get it out of the box. I want to show you what it looks like. It's pretty amazing little doohickey. All right. Hold on. Let me get it out of the box. I don't have the space to use it, so that's why I don't use it. But I absolutely love it. If I had the space, I'd use it all the time. But I don't. So, technically what it is, believe it or not, technically what it is just a toaster oven. They took a toaster oven. They took a toaster oven and made it into a glass top thing. That's what this is. It's just a toaster oven. See? It's just a toaster oven. Pretty nifty idea. I don't know whoever came up with it. Flippin' genius! Alright, it's just a toaster oven with a little knob on the side. And you turn it on, turn it off. And then you plug it in. And there's a plug over there. See? And then this thing, you put your DTF sheets on here, and it fits perfectly. See, I have a print. So you take your print off the you take your print off the printer, you set it on here, and once you have the temperature set, because you have to set your temperature, and you'll find your temperature. You sit here, play with this knob till you find a good temperature for you. All right, you have to play with this thing until you find a nice good temperature setting for you, and then you just kind of mark it. And then you just leave it there, because you're just gonna set it and forget it, right? And then every time you plug it in, turn it on, whatever it is, it will come back to this temperature. And once you set it, you're gonna forget it. Okay, you kind of like I say, you just mark it, whatever it is, whatever temperature you set it as. Every time you bring it right back to that mark, and then that's it. Okay, so every time you turn it on, you let it heat up, and then you put it on here, and then every time you print something, it will take literally the same exact amount of time to dry your prints. When I say this thing works perfectly, I'm not. It works perfectly. The words can't even explain how well this thing works. Okay, works amazingly, and I got it from Costco's. And you know how things at Costco go. You buy it there and it's there today, gone tomorrow, you'll never see it again. So good luck finding it. You might be able to find it online somewhere. You can probably source it somewhere online. Good luck with that. I don't know where to find it. I just saw it at Costco's because I was looking for something like this. And I found it and I bought it. And I tried it and it works amazingly. Perfect. Every time. It hasn't failed me once, and I just don't have the space to use it, and I absolutely want to use it every time, and I can't use it because I just don't have the space. But if you have this thing, I'm telling you, you will not regret it. All right, and it just dries out your prints 2 minutes. It literally, any longer than that and you'll be crazy. 2 minutes, and this thing, once you set your time, you can probably set your time to be even like 30 seconds, and it will dry it out. All right, once you find your time, you play with that knob, because it gets up to like 400 degrees or 300 something degrees, whatever the hell degrees it gets to. This thing gets pretty warm. All right, so you can set your temperature and your time, and then your little timer, and you just set it, pop it on here, you set your timer, and the timer goes off, you take it off, you know your print's nice and dry, and your sheet will be perfectly dry. All right, no haze, no everything will be perfect when you take it off of here. You apply your powder and then you bake it, and this thing works phenomenally. I cannot not recommend it. There it is. That's the name of it again. That's what it looks like. Okay. All right. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Flawless. Now, I know. Amazing. Amazing. Now, here is step number 4. If you don't want to buy an extra piece of equipment and you're like me who just don't have the space, I am envious of you people with lots of space. Yeah. I'm just playing. Not envious. Teach their own. Alright, so for the rest of us who don't have a lot of space, but we have one thing that works great, and the thing I keep telling y'all to buy. It's a DTF oven. If you have a DTF oven, you are winning. Okay, now I am pretty sure this will work if you have a bottom up or a top down. I don't care which one you have. Any of the DTF ovens, this method will work, guaranteed. Okay, so let me show you. You're gonna do the same exact thing. Same thing. No difference. Alright? You're gonna do the same thing. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your prints. You're gonna take your print. And you're gonna put it right on top of the oven, like so. Right on top of the oven. While it's on, of course. It's not on right now. So it's not on right now, but of course you're gonna have to turn your oven on, get it up to temperature, whatever your baking temperature is. From my baking temperature, for right now, I have to adjust my baking temperature because my sheet. I'm gonna explain that in another. That's another video. I'll leave that for another video. But I had to adjust my baking temperature. But so for your baking temperature, you need to get your oven up to full baking temperature. Okay, it has to be full baking temperature. Then when you take your print off, right? You're gonna put it directly on top of. Ouch! I messed up my print. Oh my goodness, dumbass. Okay, so you're gonna put it right on top of the oven. All right, and you're gonna again have your timer because you're gonna need a timer for this. All right. You're gonna time how long it takes to dry the moisture from your prints. And every oven, and I can't say this enough, every oven is different. My oven gives me, as you can see, about 2 minutes before it dries up. And the temperature, your baking temperature, is going to dictate a lot of that. Okay, my baking temperature is, I think, like 140 degrees or something like that. Yeah, no, I don't remember. It's 100 and so. I think it's like 140 degrees Celsius. I think my baking temperature is. All right. So you're gonna have to find your baking temperature for one, and then you have to figure out how long it takes from the top of your oven. And when you put your sheet on top of the oven, how long is it going to take your sheet to dry out the excess moisture? Not to dry out your prints, because you don't want your prints fully. I'm going to save that for another video for another day, because that's a whole nother process. You're going to have to find the right timing again. Alright? And then once you get the timing down, then you apply your powder, then you bake. Alright? And that's how you get rid of those halos or those weird DTF excess powders from around the rim of your designs using an 8550 on a manufactured printer. You won't get that because they're doing exactly this when it's printing. So you're running across one of these when the sheet's printing, when the sheet's printing is running across one of these on its way out. So that's why those people That's why when you have a manufactured DTF printer, you don't get those rings around, because again, they have a heater built into the printer. But because we don't have a heater built in our 8550s, we're gonna have to add it after we finish printing. And that's what we're doing. Alright, so till next time. Alright. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, please help me out. Subscribe on that. Peace.